fucking suck at this. But it's May 28th. Happy Memorial Day. And yes, I am watching the NBA Finals. Or the Western Conference Finals. Houston is finally going to the finals. Finally. I don't like James Harden. I kind of like Chris Paul, but I'm in California, so I've been to several Clippers games. But here's an update on the wheel. The Logitech G920 that I've had for 2 years since Forza Horizon came out, the first Forza Horizon. Now we're up to Forza Horizon 3. Let me turn the volume down on this. Way too loud, but yeah, I mean, the Thrustmaster in the prior video, this is going back to the manufacturer because the wheel does not fit on this assembly at all. It has no bolts for the Thrustmaster wheel. It just doesn't. And this is called the OpenWheeler Racer assembly, and it's about $400 on Amazon, and it's completely worth it. I mean, I'd rather have this than a lesser wheel, the one I had in the prior video, the crappy, one where you had to use your own chair, than the Thrustmaster. Just because, I mean, the Thrustmaster wheel feels better, but the G920 is, the G920 I think is what the Logitech is, that I've had for 2 years. The force feedback on Forza 7 is much better than on Forza 6, and I had a problem, huge problem with the game. I got the shifter assembly working. The shifter assembly, I made a mistake. It basically was an easy job. I just need 2 more carrier bolts to make it completely secure, which I'll get from Home Depot. But yeah, the G920 fits like a charm. The shifter fits like a charm on the shifter assembly. The pedals fit like a charm and they feel awesome. And the wheel is awesome. I mean, it can recline. It can do a lot of things. I mean, I can recline backwards on the wheel just by pressing this button right here. And you recline. And you can pull this back up all the way forward if you want to. So this is highly recommended. The open wheel, it locks there on default. And the Logitech G920, I mean, there may be other Thrustmaster wheels that fit, but they're probably crappier ones. Because this one's a higher end model. I mean, this one alone, just with this and that, it doesn't include the shifter. The shifter is not included. Just this and the wheel cost $450 or $400 or so. I don't recall. And also, the shifter assembly, unfortunately, is going back, although I want to keep it so bad. The Logitech, the Thrustmaster shifter, I wanted to keep it so bad, but it's going back to the factory, and here's the return slip. UPS, ground, whatever. No, not going to show you my address. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could keep this, and it can be assembled onto the OpenWheeler Racer really easy, but the connection is just not compatible with the Logitech G920. This connection is actually a phone cord connection. The Thrustmaster wheel, which costs $200 by itself, and it's going back, so I'm saving money, which is good. This is going back just because it's not compatible with the Logitech G920. It's got a phone connector. It's got, I'm not kidding, it's got like the 1990s when I used to have 56K, 28K connections with the modem. The phone connections with the modem. Whereas the Logitech connection is more of a conventional connection to the shifter assembly, which is this connection. Well, you can't really see it because it's under there. It's under the locking plate, which is awesome. And you can adjust everything. You can adjust how far the seat goes back and forth. You can adjust the height of your steering wheel assembly. You can adjust the angle of your steering wheel assembly with the Allen screws lock and your wrench that they give you. They give you tools, and this is the easiest assembly. I mean, it looks tough, but this is the easiest assembly I've ever done. If you're good with your hands, and if you weren't like tired, super tired like I was, you could probably do it in half an hour. Seriously, you can probably get this set up in half an hour. It took me about an hour or so, or just a little more, and I had to figure out that problem, but it took me it had to take me a lot of brain power, and I still need 2 carrier bolts to fully secure it. But as you can see, the shifter assembly can go up and down, and it can go lengthwise in and out. So everything is basically adjustable. Everything. The only thing that's not adjustable is your seat height. Your seat height, I guess, can be adjustable if you want to put this on a higher mount. But keep in mind the wheel here, okay? And this can be on carpet or on tile. If it's, you know, if you got linoleum tile, this comes with pads on the bottom that doesn't scratch or damage any kind of plastic or vinyl flooring. So, but I don't need it because I have it on carpet right now. Back at my parents' house after living away for about a year. Yeah, it's awesome. As you can see, got the Yamaha setup right here, which is awesome. Got 2 books. This one I've had for a long time. I've always wanted to learn the piano. This one I've had for a long time, and it includes a CD. This one's really good too. This one's the highest recommendation on Amazon, and I was not able to show you the Yamaha on the prior vid, but look at all these settings. It's got self-tuner, it's got song, it's got voice, it's got guitar sounds, it's got bass. It's like a synthesizer. $100. $100, this Yamaha. And if you don't have a wall in the back, the Yamaha comes with a music stand music stand. So I played cello and violin when I was a kid, and obviously I progressed to such a level where I was, during junior high school, I was in the all regionals in in a huge state, in the state of Texas, when I was 13 or 14 years old. And unfortunately I gave it up, and I don't have any recordings, and I lost my ability to read music. But I'm going to start to read music again, and I'll be able to read music on the guitar as well. So, you know, that's what you have to be a session guitarist. Not that I want to be a session guitarist. I have a decent job that I happen to really enjoy, except for the commute. But commute from my parents' house, but that it is what it is. So Logitech G920, highly recommended. The OpenWheeler Racer is the best setup you can get right now, I think. Unless you want to spend more than $500 and really get, you know, like a real racing setup. If you want to spend up to $1,000 just for a setup, that's fine. That is absolutely perfect. You may have to craft or manufacture some of your own stuff. You may have to fabricate some of your own materials. But yeah, as you can see, when I race, I love wearing my Chucks. And one thing about Forza 7 that I forgot about, it probably was the case in Forza 6, which I spent about 100 hours on, and I have like 1,000 cars. Or no, not 1,000, but like 500 cars on Forza 6. But I couldn't get the clutch pedal working. And I was like, what the fuck? How can Forza 7 not have a clutch pedal working? I mean, it had a clutch, but it was like automatic. Like, so when I depressed the clutch and pressed the gas, the car would still go forward. And it's not supposed to. It's supposed to lock the engine mechanism to prevent the engine from actually the engine spins, but prevents the gear from engaging, prevents the transmission from engaging. So you're not supposed to go when you have the clutch pressed down and the gas pressed down at the same time. You're supposed to just like as if you're in neutral. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get the clutch working properly. When I had it on the option setting and the wheel setting, even the advanced wheel settings didn't have the clutch option. And it did say clutch. It did say clutch in the options menu, but actually it didn't have a option for actually engaging a manual clutch. The clutch that it had on basically, that's my old Xbox One sitting right there, but the clutch that it had basically on the options menu, when it says clutch, it means automatic clutch, meaning you just have to use your paddle shifters. You don't have to actually engage any clutch or anything at all. So the secret to that, if you want your clutch to work, if you like driving manual cars like me, I have an S2000 that I still have, and you know, it's got a really great clutch. Go on the Forza 7, go to not the options menu. Go to the options menu and tweak your wheel settings, and of course turn wheel and clutch on. But the clutch engagement mechanism or unlock is actually in the assists. You have to go to the assists and go to manual. It's got manual. For some stupid reason, it's got manual shifting because of the fucking new cars with paddle shifters, which I hate. But it's got a manual setting, and that's deceiving. You have to go further. You have to go manual with clutch in the assists menu, not the options menu for your controller, but the assists menu. That's how you turn on the clutch on Forza 7. And lastly, the one thing that I'm glad about returning is the this pedal is not as good as the Logitech pedal. First of all, the accelerator is easier to the accelerator pedal is too easy to engage. The brake pedal is too easy. There's not enough tension against you, and the clutch pedal is a joke. It's a complete joke. I mean, most the S2000's clutch is considered light, and it's much heavier than the Logitech clutch, which is pretty pretty good for a game clutch, but this clutch is a joke. It's a toy. There is included a tool set where you can actually change the brake pedal so that it's better, has more tension, but there's nothing you can do about the clutch. There's nothing you can do about the give on the accelerator pedal, which is too easy, I think. It's just right on the Logitech pedal, whereas here it's not as good. The only thing that this pedal has that the Logitech pedal doesn't is that you can adjust the height of the individual pedals, which I don't really care about anyways because my shoes are bigger than all of these pedals. I mean, I wear a size 9, so I mean, these pedals are much smaller than any of normal people's shoes. So anyway, that's it. OpenWheeler Racer on Amazon is the best deal right now for $400 to $500. It is a great racer if you're upgrading from the one I showed you in the last video. Here, I'll show it again just to let you see. Got my bench press set, but here, that's the old setup that I had that was just this thing, and it required your own chair or, you know, some kind of wheel, or you have to use your own chair. But yeah, that's basically it. Highly recommended the OpenWheeler Racer on Amazon. Basically, highly recommended. And this is this was my starter. I spent about 100 hours on Forza 6, probably more than that. I spent like 500 hours on Mass Effect 1, which is the greatest game of all time, but or Lost Odyssey, either one. But anyway, that's beside the point. This is the one I started on, and I spent 2 years on it, and it was really good for 2 years. But the OpenWheeler racing set as an upgrade is just so much better, and it's really good for the price. For $400 or $450 or maybe $500, this is a great setup. Highly recommend.